Students from this region have notched up their best ever exam results with record grades in the GCSE exams, with an impressive showing by our new academy schools.
Results for the region's students are very much in line with the national picture. More than 1 in 5 entries awarded A star or A, more than 2/3 scoring between A star and C, and the overall pass rate from A star to G has risen to 98.6%. The results have been especially good at the region's academies. They're set up by the government and often replace failing schools. Academies are different in that they're independent, they're state-funded, but are not maintained by local authorities. They get backing and financial help from sponsors. Today, academies in Northampton, Norwich and Witham were among those reporting excellent results. And Mike Liggins has been to Barnfield West Academy in Luton, where there's been a dramatic turnaround in fortunes.
Samantha and Tiliswa get their GCSE results. You can probably guess both of them have done really well. Across the school, all the GCSE students get 5 grade C or better, and everyone is chuffed to bits.
Oh, we passed everything!
Can you believe it?
No, it's not. Well, we wouldn't have done it without the help from all the teachers.
I got predicted 10 GCSEs, but I got 12. I passed every exam that I've done.
Has it been stressful?
Oh yes, I've had many arguments with my parents about the revision and how stressed I am and getting angry about things not going the way I want them, and all the feeling like I've not passed, but obviously I did, so it's good.
Barnfield West was called Halliard High School. It was in special measures. Then Rachel D'Souza came in, and with the help of her staff, she turned the place round.
One of the first things was making sure everybody was in a smart uniform and had a sense of pride in themselves. So we were very strict about the uniform. Other practical things, we said no jewellery, we said everybody had to stay for lunch and have a proper meal, and there was no going out and coming back late.
Jane Palmer is a parent. Her daughter was struggling but is now doing well and looking forward to GCSEs next year.
They've worked on the bullying, they've worked on the behaviour, but more importantly, they're giving the education our children deserve, and this community deserves the best.
A new £30 million school is being built on the same site and will be ready in 2011. And after today's results, you can see why they say West is best. Mike Liggins, BBC Look East, Luton.
Well, Mike's with me now, and you've got an invitation for everyone who received their exam results today.
Yes, we want GCSE students to get in touch. Tell us how you've got on, what kind of a day you've had, what grades you got, maybe what you're doing next. There are 3 ways that the students can get in contact. They can go to the Look East Facebook page. They can go and have a look at my page on Twitter, or they can text, and the number is 07786 20 90 20. That's 07786 20 90 20. Get in contact as soon as you can, because we haven't got long. I'm going to be back in, what, about 10 minutes' time, 10 or 15 minutes' time. So you've got to get on and do it right away.
Great. Thanks a lot, Mike.
500 people turned out today in Bedford to pay their last respects to Frank Branston. He was the only elected mayor in this region and a man who touched the lives of most people in the area. Our political correspondent Andrew Sinclair was at a memorial service today. He's in Bedford now. Andrew.
Stuart, it's been quite a remarkable afternoon. I can't think of many local politicians in our region who could command such a turnout or even have their own spoof newspaper printed to mark the occasion. And even while we've been standing here, members of the public have been coming up to us telling us what they liked about Frank Branston. But then he was a very big name in this town for more than 30 years.
They came from all walks of life, former colleagues, council staff, local dignitaries, fellow politicians. And by the time his family arrived straight from the private funeral, the corn exchange was full.
Frank triumphed, as he did in many of the things he achieved in life.
There were tributes, there was music, and across the town the flags flew at half-mast.
Frank Branston was a man who loved Bedford. He lived and worked here most of his life. A journalist from the age of 16, he was on the local paper before deciding to set up his own. 33 years on, it's still one of the region's leading newspapers.
Frank was a very fine journalist. He was not afraid of anybody or anything. He got really good stories and would work hard at them, and if advertisers or the politicians threatened him, he would simply put the story further up the page than would have originally gone. So he was a very brave, a fearless journalist. As he said, Bedfordshire on Sunday is red in tooth and claw, and he meant it.
Beds on Sunday was a local paper with bite, a constant thorn in the side of the local council. So when Bedford was named as one of the first places to have a directly elected mayor, it was no surprise that Mr Branston decided to stand, not for any of the main parties, but as an independent. And he won a large majority.
Now the buck is going to stop with me. And when you consider that some time ago it took them 2 years to get to decide to put a keep off the grass notice, just goes to show you what the old politics were like.
And that won't happen under Mayor Frank Branston?
I think not.
Larger than life, a character, something perhaps we need more of in public life rather than less. But I think in Bedford he's going to be remembered for getting things done and working with all sorts of people in order to achieve that.
He was re-elected in 2007 and continued working hard until his death. He would always talk about how much Bedford had changed in recent years. New investment, less antisocial behaviour, cleaner streets. This, he would say, showed that local politicians can make a difference. There's a lot of talk in politics at the moment about independent politicians, independent candidates, people who think they can achieve more if they work away from the mainstream parties. Independents have a mixed history in British politics, but I think here in Bedford it can be said that Frank Branston did make a difference.
Andrew, thank you.
Later on, Look East.